chum. Happy birthday, Sparks. Say.
Happy birthday, Sparks!
You want to say that one more time?
Say one more time. Happy birthday, Sparks.
Happy birthday, Sparks!
You're so cute.
It's back on. That's okay.
Sparks, we made that cake for you.
They start losing the stripes.
Yep.
Is she still bottle feeding or she
Yep.
feeding? No. She still is bottle feeding.
So Grace gets fed 4 times a day, 2 of those bottles, sometimes a little bit more if she's feeling hungry. It's a milk replacement formula like you give to cattle. So, yes, not the regular clean milk, special. Yeah. Yep. Feel free to ask your questions, everybody. Grace's primary care team is here. They know all about her. They know her habits. They know her likes, her dislikes. We're here to learn.
How long does she take to reach full maturity?
Very good question. I think we'll defer to the director for that one. They spend, typically, young tapirs will spend over a year with their mothers in the wild, kind of learning what foods to forage on, how to avoid predators, how to, basically survive in the wild before they're in a position to go off and be a bit more independent. So it's a couple years at least before they're able to reproduce. And when they do, can anyone guess how long a tapir pregnancy lasts?
13 months.
Brilliant.
We were listening.
You were good. And how many babies at a time? Thankfully for the mom, just one.
Remember, you want me
So, yeah, she's habituated to people. So, to be able to replicate the wild learning she would get from her mom is not possible in a zoo setting. So it's not something that you could teach and then put her back out into the wild, sadly.
How do the other tapir treating her?
She's on her own. So tapirs are usually solitary by nature. It's very rare that you'd see one or two together. So this will be her space. And like you notice with the others, they're all on their own. Yep. So after their time with mom, they just kind of branch out and set up shop on their own.
How many pounds does Grace weigh?
Aha, let's guess. How much do you think Grace weighs right now? How much?
40.
40? Keepers, is that correct?
A little bit over 50.
26 kilograms, so times 2.2, right? And I was going to tell you how much they weigh when they're just born, but there's a guessing game with watermelons over there, so I don't want to cheat. Y'all can go and guess that one for a prize. Keepers? Like scratches. Yeah.
400.
Yeah, so our species of tapir is the second largest in the world. They can weigh up to 500 or over 500 pounds. The ones here in the zoo, most of them are over 300. So between 300 and 400 pounds on average is what Grace might weigh when she's full grown like her neighbors.
How much longer will she have her stripes?
Her stripes and spots will last till she's about 5 or 6 months of age.
She's
Yeah.
exploring.
It's the first time out there, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first time she's officially been out in this space, right? She's been chilling out in her little private quarters up until just now.
I think she's too excited.
Yeah. Smelling,
Yep.
getting to know the area. It's just like, ooh, who are all these people?
Does she have teeth?
Yes.
She bites?
She could. She nibbles.
Yep. She's teething, or she explores with her teeth, just like a lot of human babies do, right?
You know, you guys could scratch
Oh yeah.
Okay, that one.
If he in the mood for it. You could try doing a scratch down for her. Yeah.
Alright, there she is dating her neighbor.
Yep.
You know already though. Balance.
We live, you know. Yep.
She's like, excuse me.
Is that the first time she's seeing another tapir?
Apart from her mom.
We could if we either scratch the belly or the legs, like the back legs.
Okay. And we could explain to them why I not do that. Yeah.
No, just two. I think she's excited.
Yeah, it's a sensory overload.
Not palatable.
The solid food yet, or just let you?
We're introducing the solid food and she's nibbling on it. Yeah, but still on formula.
Sorry? Oh yeah. So is everyone familiar with why Grace is here? Do we know why Grace is at the zoo? It was the first fire, so there was a very kind and concerned citizen found her near La Gracia, so Grace for La Gracia. And what he reported was there was a bushfire in the area, and he found Grace on her own, just kind of stumbling and trying to get away from it, much like he was. And so he picked her up and took her to Bullet Tree, where he lives, and eventually got in touch with the Belize Wildlife and Referral Clinic. And so they picked her up, and took her in, made sure that she was stable. She was very underweight, looking very weak. And so they managed to stabilize her, get her to a point where she had a little bit more strength before she was transferred here to the zoo for long-term care. Any other questions about Grace?
Does she have any dislikes?
Any dislikes?
I like
Animal care?
see.
You know, like when we
Like
go.
that.
What? Oh, the lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like here.
Yep.
Okay,
She doesn't like her head touched.
this is fine.
Yes. She doesn't like when we leave too. She gets upset. She likes company.
Is she gonna be the next Mudang?
We hope. You all need to help us make that happen. She's on TikTok. Yeah, I need a one. Yep. There's a baby Malayan tapir at the Point Defiance Zoo in Seattle, Washington. Ume, I believe her name is, about around the same age as Grace. So we've joked about trying to get Grace a pen pal with Ume across the way. So we'll see if that happens next. So if anyone from Point Defiance Zoo is listening on our live, plug, wink, wink.
Do you all vaccinate your pets, your animals here?
Yes.
What's the main concern?
We do a yearly checkup on them, and usually like we deworm them. At least once a year for every animal.
And as many of you probably know right now, there's a screwworm outbreak that we're monitoring with not just livestock but with wildlife. And so that's one of the main concerns at the moment, is making sure none of our animals get that. For those of you who might remember April the tapir, the original birthday girl, that's the reason she ended up at the zoo. She was not only an orphan, but she had a very unpleasant, a very nasty infection of screwworm when she first came in the 80s. So it's something that our animal care team are now vigilant about with especially our mammals, right? Yeah.
How much time for the day does Grace has to be attended to?
Feeding 4. Yeah.
Every 3 hours.
Yep. So the first one's at 7 before the zoo opens, and then we have the others. Yeah.
And throughout the night too?
No, our last feeding's at 4, and then she's good till the morning. First thing in the morning. Yeah, just so she can. Yeah. We have 2 other. So if you want to get fancy zoo terms, we have 2 other neonates, so baby animals that we're caring for. Yes.
And the anteater?
Yes.
What did you name them?
They haven't been named yet. We're gonna put it out to public vote. Don't worry. So we have the Jaguarundi and the anteater Tamandua that we're also caring for behind the scenes. But both those species are much more independent than tapirs, and so they have a good chance of being put back in the wild. In fact, last year I believe we had released a Tamandua that we had rehabbed. So we're hoping that, fingers crossed, we can get them back into areas very near the zoo, inside what we call the Maya Forest corridor, because we do have a healthy landscape of connected forest where they could thrive.
So they're both not out as yet, only Grace.
Yeah, so those won't be out. Those, we intentionally limit human interaction with them because we want them to stay wild and have an aversion to people, since they're not going to be here long term. Yeah, so it's literally just the keepers, very limited contact, feeding and leave. None of this scratching and the playing and the talking. So they remain as wild as possible.
We have opportunity for feeding experience after today.
Oh yes. So we're continuing the feeding with Grace that we've been doing. So she'll remain here, but the close-up feeding will still happen in her little secluded area. So starting tomorrow, we're resuming the, it's at 10. 1 and 4, the 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 4 o'clock feedings. So just like we've been doing previously, up to 4 people can accompany the keeper and get close up to Grace while she's being fed. Yeah. So that literally funds her expensive milk formula and just the improvements we have been doing and will continue to do to her space as she grows, right? Hi, Grace. Yes. Sorry? Oh, adoption. Yay. And where's Noelle? I think she's gone. So Noelle, our mistress of ceremonies for this, has set up an adoption booth at the front of the zoo to where the activities are for those that might want to support Grace's care for the short term. We have, I think, like a 3-month and 6-month adoption. You literally get your certificate and your care package right there off the table if you're interested in doing that, right? So something to consider on your way out. All right, I'll close the live.